It's Project Drive Sober now. Our goal is to reduce drunk driving in Wisconsin, and we've covered the toll that drunk driving can take on families when someone is killed. But when someone is lucky enough to survive, what about the financial toll then? Well, a Howard man who used to work as a full-time architectural designer says drunk driving led to his $1 million afternoon.
Jeff Gates before and Jeff Gates after. Before and after the crash. But Jeff says what you can't see is the difference in his mind and the difference in his finances. Jeff says it was $1 million afternoon.
I was going over side to side and then end over end and ended up in a ditch probably 500-600 feet from where I started.
Jeff says about 12 years after the crash and after draining retirement money, medical costs, and lost income, the crash has cost him
easily $1 million, without a doubt.
Court documents say it was late January 2007 when police found Jeff inside a minivan in a ditch in Waukesha County. Jeff said he was on his way home to Howard from work.
If I could turn back time, I probably wouldn't have worked in Illinois so often. And the crazy thing was, a couple of weeks beforehand, I had thought to myself, I've been putting on lots and lots of miles. I hope my ticket doesn't get punched pretty quick here, because sooner or later the odds are going to catch up to me, and I guess they did.
Court documents say the other driver, Dean Rickert, had a blood alcohol level of .235, nearly 3 times the legal limit. Records say Rickert pleaded no contest to operating while intoxicated causing injury. A phone number for him was disconnected. After trying to go back to work and then a layoff, he says his doctors told him it would be best for him to stop working. He says he got a rare form of concussion in the crash.
Gives me migraine headaches 6, 8, 10 times a month, where I have to just go in a dark room and sit and be quiet and try and sleep.
And sleeping doesn't pay so well.
We've been able to make ends meet barely since the crash. On disability, it's less than 1/3 of what I used to make.
Money is only an issue for him because he survived, but so many victims of drunk drivers don't. Knowing it can happen, he lived it. He says he's told his children to make sure they have enough life insurance for their families.
That was a conversation I've had many times with them.
Justin Lardnoy sells life insurance in Green Bay.
I would generally recommend a term life policy at the same time, 20, 30 years, something that's going to secure that child's financial future for at least until they get through school or a good portion of the way through school, so that they can, start their life as an adult.
As Project Drive Sober has shown, there is a risk for any driver who's on the roads.
And as far as what Jeff Gates would change if he could, he would have made sure he had good long-term disability insurance, and he would have increased his uninsured or underinsured driver coverage on his car insurance. He says he just didn't have enough. Now, as far as if the worst should happen, how much life insurance is recommended for someone?
I suggest often the DIME, which would be debt, income, mortgage, and education. Rule of thumb would be, 10 years of your income plus whatever debt you have, plus your mortgage, and then education for your child.
As we do continue Project Drive Sober, we'd always like to hear from you, 866-WI-SOBER, or you can email us, drivesober@nbc26.com. Go to nbc26.com/drivesober for more of our stories in this series.